Hello, my friends. This is Dr. Deepak Chopra, and it's a great privilege for me to be speaking to Alex. Alex, what's your last name, sir?
Mazzoni.
Mastoni, and he is with Glamour Physics, a site that I've admired for a long time now on social media. And did you start the site, Alex?
I actually, yes, first of all, thank you for having me. This is a great honor. We've been following you, all your contents. We love it very much. Your community is awesome. So thank you for having me, first of all. Then, yes, a little bit about our history. We actually started, me and Lou, which is the co-admin of the page. It was a little bit pre-pandemic, so I think it was around 2019. We were at her house actually. We always loved science. We always loved astronomy. We went to all the museums together. Everything we could do in our little city here in Italy. And we discovered that actually, if you went online or on social media, it was really, really hard, at least in Italy, it was really, really hard to see just pages or blogs that just were there for the science, just for the people that love it. There was hardly anything. Of course, there wasn't, but it was really hard to find. It was mostly scientific newspapers that were specifically for professor or academic people or people that were really high level on education. So we just thought between ourselves, why don't we start something ourselves, maybe on Instagram? We were really familiar with Instagram as it's a really popular social between between young people or also creators. So it's really popular in general. And we started a little bit just between the two of us, and then with time, it became something incredible. We were able to build a community throughout all of Italy. We met incredible people, and we absolutely had the chance to collaborate with international with all international figures, international students. For example, right now we are a group of people here in Italy that participate actually in the pages, but we also have students. For example, we have a student actually from India, which is a really dear friend of mine. It's actually not just collaboration, it's pure friendships that are created purely through the love of science that accumulate us all together, which is, I think it's beautiful. I think it's really what socials are there for, and it's truly beautiful. We all work together, we all create content together, and it's absolutely stunning.
So tell me a little bit about your background, your educational background. You grew up obviously in Italy. Where are you now in Italy? In Rome? Or
Uh, yes. I study in Rome, computer science. Right now I'm in Turin because I'm helping my sister moving out because she finished her study. But yes, I'm in Rome actively. I had the opportunity to move there to study at the Sapienza. I don't know, you probably know it. It's really important for us. My family, it's actually quite funny because my father tried to get into Sapienza and didn't manage to, and also the father of my father tried to get into Sapienza but didn't have the chance because they were working. So I am kind of the third generation of my family that managed to get into it. And I'm studying computer science. I'm loving it. It is absolutely my sector, my field. So when there's a chance to, with all these, for example, with those all these artificial intelligence that are coming out now, probably heard it, where I could talk about this for hours, the incredible wave that we're experiencing with all the artificial intelligence. This is a little bit my field, but Lou, for example, she's in Milan at the,
how do you spell her name?
Lou, L-U.
Lu. Okay. She's in Milan. She's your
She's
partner. And
yes.
she also has a science background?
Yes. Far more than me actually. She's studying pure physics at the Politecnico. I don't know how you translate it actually.
Yeah,
Polytechnic.
Polytech. Polytech.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. And she read far more books than me. She's a total. We grew up together, and I think already when we were kids, she was just the enjoy for her. The hanging out was just going. She lives a little bit outside of the city, so without the smog and everything, you could look at the stars, and that was our hanging out. That was just there, looking at the stars, the constellation, how they would move. She's extremely epic. Glamour Physics, I think she touches her heart a little bit more than it does with me, because that's really it's kind of her daughter. I don't know how I wouldn't know how to describe it in any other way. And then this is a little bit the our two most. And then we have this student in India, Abhishek, which is a very, very dear friend of mine. And I think without him, we would have never jumped, have never had this jump in quality that right now you can see in, for example, in our reels. We started engaging because at the beginning it was just me and Herbert in the post, post after post, very long, very detailed. And then he introduced us to reels. He's incredible at video editing. We had the chance to reach so many more people, and thinking that he's 100 or miles from us, it's really fun. I just love it.
So he's also, Abhishek is also a physics student?
Yes. I think he just finished his bachelor and is now doing a master's degree in physics.
And
So
where is he located in India? Do you know?
yes, I had his location. I just have to find it because I'm not really geography has never been
Have
my.
you physically met him? Have you physically met
No,
him?
not yet. I think I would love to. I would really, really love to. He's in Agartala. Maybe
Agar,
I'm not.
uh,
Agartala.
Agar.
Yes.
So tell me now, these videos are very stunning and they're very magnificent. And what is the methodology? Because obviously, when we look at the stars and these galaxies, we're translating some microwave radio waves into those pictures, right? Uh,
Mhm.
what is the technology and who does the production? Where does the production happen?
Well, it's mostly a teamwork project. Firstly, we need to find a topic. It kind of starts from there. It's a brainstorming. We just need to think what do people want, or even going beyond that and thinking what do people love to see. How can we tell people that science is so amazing that certain things happen, because that's mostly where we take the attention of the people. So we try to brainstorm this, and then I speak with Abhishek, and then we try to find some clips, and then we have to find the right music, and and this became a nightmare right now. I don't know if you've heard about the problem that we had here in Italy for the past few months or weeks, sorry, that the CI, which is the uh, I think it's a private organization. Yes, it's a private organization that handles the rights of the music that we can use on the social media platforms here in Italy. And unfortunately, this organization and Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, did not find an agreement. And for the past few weeks and months, we had no access to music whatsoever. So we were really all our reels went silent, all our posts went silent. So we were we were having kind of a heart attack about what we could do. But then, fortunately, in the past few days, they reached an agreement, so we managed to get out of it, and now we can get back to work
The
slowly.
actual production, are these videos originally produced, or you kind of amalgamate them from different sources?
Yeah. It's actually more of taking pieces a bit from everywhere, of course, which we don't want to violate anyone's rights. We all get we either get the agreement for the creator of that piece, or it's a copyright-free piece. Then we put them all together, put subtitles and the music, and try to do it as much amusing as it can be, and so to reach as many people as possible.
Who
Yes.
came up with the idea originally? You came up with the idea, or your friend Lou, and or together? How did this come about originally?
I think originally it was my idea. Lou has never been a social media type of girl. She was the going to school, good grades, come home, read, repeat. um, so using the social media, I was I had a little bit of background as a social media manager in my father's business, for example. So I kind of knew the potential that was behind the social media. So I kind of put it out there, the idea of, why don't we use this medium to spread our message, to just get the people that love science something they can relate to, something they can trust, and enlarge this community as much as we can.
So tell me, right now, how big is your team? You have 3 people, you, Lou, and Abhishek, or it's a bigger team?
We actually have also May that studies here in Turin. She studies global law, which is very interesting, very, very interesting. And I think it can be a real benefit to our page, even if it's not strictly related. And then we're also trying to find some members in our video editing to give a little help to Abhishek. Otherwise, he has in the periods. He has exams. I have exams. Lou has exams. It's a little bit of a mess. So we want to give a chance. There are many young people that want to get into social or love video editing. We just want to give them a shot. If they can create a good piece, we absolutely post it. We give them the credit. They get the credit. I think there's a lot of potential now that can be done also with Glamour Physics in helping others. Our little bit of a vision in the future would be, I think, partnering with professors and just getting a little bit of trust from the high level, from the elite of the science that we truly admire. We're not trying to replace them. We're not trying to throw them off or revolutionize what they created. We just take what they say, make it a little simpler, and give it to the people so they can appreciate the science even more. We're on the same team, and it would be beautiful to partner with them, get the word out, even internationally. We have a huge presence of opinion leader, I would say, singers, producers, athletes. They all follow Glamour Physics. They comment, they like. And so I think it would be really beautiful to just get the message
And
out
you,
there.
you just mentioned that you also have exams. So what are you studying for now?
Right now I have calculus, which is a
No,
little bit
challenging. But no, but what degree are you in? Computer science or in physics?
ah yes, I'm in computer science, a bachelor's degree. In my course is called Applied Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence. So I chose it, of course. Unfortunately, it was just in Sapienza, but it's better because I wanted to come to Rome, and it has a special focus also on artificial intelligences, which is beautiful for me. So
So, uh, are there any universities or academic institutions using your material to educate students? Because this is one of the best things that could be used for, right?
yeah, sure. in fact, it's kind of funny because in the first months actually of Glamour Physics, we were really, really small. I think maybe a little bit more than 1,000 followers. Me and Lou joined the lesson of the observatory. I don't know if it's the right word.
Correct.
Yes.
The right one.
It's the we joined the lesson on Zoom of the observatory of Padua, and then they were showing, of course, the beautiful equipment and the stars. And then out of nowhere, they pulled out one of our posts. I think it was about black matter. That we did a series really at the beginning about black matter, and they showed it to the public, and they talked about Glamour Physics, how this little page is really bringing value absolutely for free to available to anyone. Suggested that we would check it out. That we managed to get in contact with them. They thanked us. They were scared that we were going to actually sue them for the material, and it's kind of comic. It kind of makes you laugh, and it kind of makes you understand the situation of thinking that no one is doing something for free or just for the love of it. So there really is a lot of work to do. That's the truth.
But obviously, to produce high quality videos like this is costs money. It costs hours, resources. Do you have any sponsors at the moment?
Sponsors, no. For example, we do promotions on Instagram to other scientific pages to help them to grow. So we help the community, our followers grow today. If they bring value, of course, we have a lot of criteria to follow. We just want to give the credit to important people, to important pages that we think are bringing value to the table. So that's a source of income. And
Oh,
then
they do pay for it then.
yes,
Oh,
they pay for it. Yes.
so your funding, you are adequately funding. You could obviously, if you had more funding, you could do a lot more, right?
Yeah, I think we could do a little bit more funding, yes, because right now with the promotions we just reinvested in ourselves. So for the production, reels are actually very expensive. For the clips or the music to get high quality, of course, it can be very expensive. So mostly goes towards that. But I honestly think it could be Glamour Physics now has the chance to get much more funding. I just don't really know where to go. I'm gonna be honest. We were thinking, actually, I was thinking about maybe reaching out to our local publishers. Maybe someone who's getting a new book out that is looking for a large community of science lovers to read it, then I think that would be a good option. But I still have to look deep into it and actually think about it. But it would be really good for us to have a little bit more funding for our projects.
How
Yes.
many followers right now do you think? What is your, reach at the moment?
Well, right now we're about to touch the 300,000 followers, and we have a monthly views of 4 or 5 million people. Mostly are non-followers, so it is really, really good. We are reaching
So
out a lot.
4 or 5 million.
Yes.
Would you be amenable to, if we put we have a Chopra Foundation, which is a non-profit. Um, uh, we could easily put those videos with, of course, a link to you on our foundation page, which would increase your audience. We have a total reach of about 25 million people, so it keeps expanding. I'm happy to help you expand the reach if you'd like that.
That would be that would be awesome. I
Okay,
wouldn't.
so let's, after we finish, I'll have Frank look into it. But
Thank you.
let's talk a little bit more now, because, I find what you're doing very useful to expand the conversation in the general public, because otherwise conversation remains within academia. And
Mhm.
it's very ironical that you're all from Italy, the home of Galileo, who without Galileo, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Uh,
Exactly.
and I had a good fortune of visiting the Vatican 2, 3 times,
Ah, really?
science committee, and I was shown the secret vaults and the
Mm,
letters between the Pope and Galileo of that time. They have them
yeah,
preserved. So, it's fascinating to see how modern cosmology, when you ask Stephen Hawking, who was your hero? He said Galileo. You ask any cosmologist, who's your hero? They say Galileo, because without Galileo, there would not be modern cosmology. So
exactly.
it's wonderful that this is coming from the home of where cosmology, modern cosmology anyway, was born. So let's ask a few questions, okay? I'm going not that I want prevailing opinion. I just want, notwithstanding the
Mhm.
amazing science we have, we still have so many unanswered questions. Number
Mm,
one, there's no cause that can be ascribed to the Big Bang,
mm,
correct? Number two, we do not know what happened in the Planck epoch when the laws of physics didn't apply. 10 to the power of whatever, minus 37 before time zero. We don't know why cosmic inflation is so precise. We also know that there's a big problem with what we call the cosmological constant. The observed value and the theoretical value is off by huge amount. And yet everything seems to work. Everything seems to work. It's a kind of almost like inexplicable to me anyway, that everything, all these mathematical calculations are very predictive of the behavior of the universe. And we also do not know the true nature of dark matter, um, because it's not supposed to be atomic. So it actually, the mystery of the universe only increases as we explore science. What do you think? What is your take on this?
Hey, it's really interesting what you said. Yes, it's true. I think uh, I think this is kind of where evolution brings us. We just we keep going forward. We think we're getting more answer, but we're just creating more and more questions. Um, I think there's a little bit of subjective faith that we have to take right now. Um, we're going towards more and more and more technological advance and scientific research advance that we're kind of forgetting that if me and you are talking right now, uh, there's not a real cause after that, because we're just atoms that were atoms, we were stars millions and millions of years ago. We would be wood, or we would be still a bunch of atoms, but we are conscious, we are talking to between us right now. So I think there is something more that maybe it's not so observable as we think it is. And yes.
So, if I go on Google, now of course we can go to AI and ChatGPT and all of that. But in the past, when I typed the following question, what are the 125 open questions in science? The number one open question in science is, what's the universe made of? And the answer, most people say atoms, molecules, force fields, gravity, etc. Um, but that applies to less than 4% of the universe, because between dark matter and dark energy, you have, there's no atoms, there's no molecules, there's whatever, we have no idea. So that 4% of the universe is made of atoms. And I was recently talking to a friend of mine who's actually one of the authors of the double dark theory of matter.
Oh,
And
wow.
his name is Joel Primack. He's a very famous
Ah,
cosmologist,
good.
University of
Good.
California. And so
Yes.
I was talking to him, and he actually went further. He said the visible universe, and right now, if you look at all the data, the visible universe supposedly has 2 trillion galaxies, 2 trillion galaxies, 700 sextillion stars, uncountable trillions of planets, probably 60 billion habitable planets in just the Milky Way galaxy. 60 billion habitable planets in just the Milky Way galaxy. Multiply that by 2 trillion, and your mind will reel in bewilderment. But then what he said is, of this 4% of the universe that is supposedly the visible universe, 99.9% is actually invisible interstellar dust, probably hydrogen and helium. So the visible universe, which is 2 trillion galaxies, 716 stars, uncountable trillions of planets, probably 60 billion in the Milky Way galaxy, is 0.01%. And the problem with that is, as you know, uh, atoms, particles, they have a dual nature, schizophrenic nature. When you're observing them, they're particles. When they're not being observed, they become probability waves in mathematical space, and they disappear. So, yeah, I think the simplest answer is um, the universe is made of nothing. And many people say that. Many cosmologists say that the universe is made of nothing. And then, of course, that leads to the second open question in science, which also you'll find on Google, Wikipedia, probably now on ChatGPT, which is what is called the hard problem of consciousness. So if the universe is made of nothing, why does it look like you, me, stars, galaxies, trees, rocks, insects, planets, all of that, which is now called the hard problem of consciousness? And most cosmologists will tell you that consciousness is an emergent uh, property of the universe, because they're thinking of human consciousness. They're thinking of the human mind, not even of consciousness. So as long as we think that consciousness is a byproduct of matter, and if we are confronted with this idea that matter also is waves, then we have a problem. We cannot actually do science without consciousness, number one. We cannot do math without consciousness. And science, we cannot do anything. So the theories of science are conceived in consciousness. The experiments of science are, again, designed in consciousness. The observations are made in consciousness, but we have no explanation for consciousness. And actually, we don't have an explanation for the universe as well. So the other day, when I was talking to Joel Primack, who's, as I said, one of the authors of the dark matter theory, I asked him, is consciousness and cosmos complementarity? You can't have one without the other. He would not answer me. He was very kind of, evasive in the question. But the reason I'm talking to you is I noticed that you guys are actually interested in consciousness as a fundamental aspect of of the universe. And that is why I actually contacted you, because this is a discussion that needs more attention. Cosmos, consciousness. It's almost like an equation. Consciousness and cosmos go together, just like, wave and particle go together. Or, and that also led to a very confusing question for me, which is not only for me. Eugene Wigner, the great physicist, said he had he had written an essay, The Unreasonable Effectiveness of Mathematics. So, I asked some of my friends in the field of mathematics, where does mathematics exist? And they can't tell me. Is mathematics a human activity of the human brain? Is mathematics platonic? Is mathematics a fundamental property of the universe? Uh, Tell me your view.
Yes, we actually, yes, this is exactly one of the main points that we actually wanted to get in contact with you, because we think that our contents, our brands, everything, we are complementary. You create exactly what we miss and what we really, really, really like to give out. Because as you said, we cannot talk about cosmos, universe, and anything without talking about the consciousness, our part, our minds, the part that our minds have in everything that we do in every day, in every part of the science or all the techniques that we get into, from computer science to the physics that do studies. It's there. We cannot think that it's not there. So that's why we just enjoy so much your contents, because it's really what we miss. It's it's the 50% that we don't have. So we would just really love to keep on in contact with you,
No,
follow
we
you.
will. And I will send you some other material from other cosmologists, also
Absolutely.
from quantum physicists, and that are, I have friends in the cosmological community and the physics community who are very interested in consciousness, and see how this evolves, because your videos, once they start combining consciousness and cosmos, they'll become even more magical, more magical, because what we experience as the universe is actually a human universe. It's not the universe of any other species. It's
Mhm.
the universe of the human species, not crocodiles, not dolphins, not insects with 100 eyes. This is the human universe, and we think it is an objective universe, but my opinion is that the universe is conceived, constructed, governed, and comes into existence in consciousness, and that consciousness is not human, because the human is also, in a way, an activity in a non-local consciousness. So this is a conversation that needs to go further and evolve, and there are some very interesting physicists that will actually help us expand this and make it maybe visual, because with visual videos there is a better understanding sometimes.
Yeah, it gives you a map. Yes, it
Mathematics is too abstract. Anyway, where is mathematics? Where does mathematics exist in your opinion, Alex?
right now with the calculus exam to take next week, it really just exists in my professor mind for as long as I know. I
Okay.
just
Okay, that's a good answer. Uh, okay, so what are your plans after you finish your degrees? What do you think you want to do? This is because this is a big adventure that you're on, Glamour Physics.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oof, I don't know. I think my ideal scene, it would be applying what I have learned in this bachelor to take Glamour Physics to the next level. And I'm gonna be honest, I think that the real future of Glamour Physics right now, it's I miss the word in English, not newspaper. How do you like Forbes? What's the name of what is Forbes? Like the name
Forbes,
of the,
the
yeah, Forbes
magazine.
magazine. Yes, I think the future of Glamour Physics lies both in the online, so cross platforms everywhere. And also, I would just really love to hold a copy of the magazine of Glamour Physics that can be read between all ages, can be given in schools, can be read by everyone. And but to unlock that, I truly think that our chapter two, our chapter 2 in Glamour Physics, it's really is connecting the consciousness and the cosmos, the objective and unobjective, to really step up our game. So that is really, I think, what the future holds for us.
Are you right now? You're in Turin, or where are you right now?
Yes, yes. Right now I'm in Turin until Tuesday, and then I go back to Rome. Yes.
But you live in Rome, huh?
Yes, yes, yes. I live in Rome. Yes.
Well, I make periodic visits to Rome, and I would love to meet you when I'm there. We can take this discussion even further. But in the meanwhile, I'll start sending you some material from other people, may give you some more ideas. And I
That would
love
be
the
wonderful.
association. And if you're open to it, we can promote Glamour Physics on our foundation site, which would be very interesting for us.
Absolutely. We're all in for
Also,
that.
we have a conference once in a while, and we will have a conference, I think, in the next 1 year. It's called Sages and Scientists, and we bring everyone, all the cosmologists, physicists.
Wow.
I would like to invite you and your team to
Thank you.
that conference, Sages and Scientists in New York, as it evolves.
That would be a dream.
Yeah,
That would
because
be
when you bring together philosophers and scientists, you
that's
have
very
an amazing discussion. Um, well, this has been an amazing conversation. I'm very grateful to you.
fine.
And
Yes, thank you.